Dying Light is a game about collecting different weapons and resources to upgrade these to master class zombie beaters. However, these weapons will always eventually break, and you will be left vulnerable to the onslaught of half-naked man-eating biters. In a valiant attempt to prevent these inevitable proceedings, I go on to complete this game using only my trustworthy balls of my feet. Welcome to Can You Beat Dying Light using only your feet. Yes, you heard me right, the only weapons we are allowed to use are stompers, the most useless pieces of equipment we have. Luckily, using these weapons does not use any stamina, and they actually cannot break. Of course. However, I decided this challenge would be even more fun on the fucking hardest difficulty. Yes, you heard me right, I'm doing a kicking only challenge in Dying Light on Nightmare difficulty. How goddamn smart am I? We drop into the city of Haran, which contains the zombie virus. We are part of the government organisation, the GRE, and our mission is to collect some intel which was stolen by someone currently inside the infected city. This intel can help create a cure for the virus, and so it is essential we locate it and collect it. To be honest, I have no real clue what this story is actually about. Even listening to the dialogue and watching all of the cutscenes over again, I'm still totally baffled. Landing into the city, we totally fuck up the landing and get ambushed by some big baddies. Sadly, in order to rid ourselves of these deadly harlots, we end up shooting one of them, causing us to kill an enemy without the use of our feet. Okay, I know this is a cutscene, and therefore doesn't really count, but damn, what I wouldn't do to see that man come back to life again. Just think of his family, all that time we spent together, for it to just end like this. No, I can't let this affect me. But then I proceed to get devoured by a nasty zombie. Damn, I'm sorry man, I didn't mean to intrude on your meal. Luckily we are saved and dragged away by some friendly faces. Or they're just perverts and haven't seen a good looking bloke in a while. Anyway, we're safe now. One of the survivors is turned into a snack for our zombie friends, and so we have to leave him and pass out on the way to their home base. We wake up a few days later inside a building called the Tower, where we have to talk to one of the main men in charge, Rahim, to find out more about this community. We need to discover who and where the person who stole the GRE intel is, and retrieve it as to cure this virus. We proceed to be taught some pro parkour skills by Rahim on the top of the tower and the construction building beside it. These skills will be the main focus of this game, especially within this challenge. As we can only use our feet as weapons, we need to rely on our speed and maneuverability to get the fuck away from anyone who looks like they want to eat me, and not just the zombies either. We also begin to experience our first epileptic seizure. It looks like it's already the end for us. There's nothing we can do but accept our fate. Nah, there's actually some meds that stop us turning into bloodthirsty zombies somehow. So, don't really have to worry about that much. Next we leave the tower for the first time, heading towards Dr. Zera, the tower's, doctor. We get our first dose of antizin, which delays the symptoms of the virus. We have limited time to find a cure for this virus and complete the story. Luckily I waste no time on side quests, and so I can just concentrate on the excruciating boss fights coming soon. We need to do many small tasks at the beginning of the game as a tutorial, such as setting up some traps and securing some safe zones. These first parts were simple, as we hardly need to kill any zombies. However, we do come in contact with some of the first real enemies, giving us a slight idea of what is to come. We then finish setting up traps. However, the power grid goes down on the final light trap, and so we have to travel to the power substation in order to restore the power. This is where we encounter our first boss type enemy. Although it has no health bar like the others, it definitely felt like a real piss take of a fight. This gigantic motherfucker is able to bring you down to the ground in a single hit, also doing quite a fair amount of damage. It was so goddamn tedious, hitting him, sliding out of the way of his attacks, and then repeating this for about 80 more times. It all around took about 20 minutes of the same thing, and about 3 deaths for him to finally be taken down. Okay, I didn't realise at the time, but you don't actually need to kill this guy. Now understandably, I was freaking annoyed when I found this out, as that was about 20 agonising minutes, just completely wasted. But then I remembered that this was the quickest boss fight in the entire game, so comparatively, it wasn't that bad. But after we restore the power, we get to go back to the safe house and sleep till morning. After a quick nap, we head back to the tower, where we get to meet the leader for the first time, Brecken. Brecken was a part of a scavenging team sent to collect more antizin. However, everyone was killed except from him, but he was beaten up by an enemy faction controlled by a man named Rise. He clearly isn't a force to be reckoned with, or should I say, breckoned with. We volunteered to go out and locate one of the antizin airdrops, which is crucial for this community's survival. We find an airdrop containing multiple cases of the stuff, however decide to burn it to ensure no one becomes addicted, as, you know, drugs are bad. We have ultimately doomed this community. However, this has given us the opportunity to meet up with the mystery man Rise and find out if he is our target. Also to get some more antizin. I really think I fucked up there. Anyway, it's not my problem. We head to his base through the night and make a deal with Rise to help him in return for some antizin. We also discover he is the man who stole the GRE intel, and so we need to find out a way to retrieve it from him. We collect an assignment and contact our GRE girlfriend to update them on our current status. For the assignment we were given by Rise, we have to reinstate communications in the city via the communications towers. At the first tower we encounter our first spitter zombie, which spits some sort of toxic goo at you or something. This part was quite hard, as we had a bloody massive big guy that was, as soon as you got close to him, he'd just knock you straight down and you would just be hit from every angle by every zombie. We also had to deal with a long range spitter, which was so hard to get to in the first place due to the other big guy, and also would just constantly fire his toxic shit at you and you would drain your health in a matter of seconds. Luckily though, we were able to obtain the dropkick skill, which allows us to launch enemies off of buildings, which I can't argue is the most fun part of this challenge. However, once we were done with that first tower, we moved on to the second, which was easy as shit as it had literally no enemies, and so we could just climb onto it and finish the mission. Returning to Rise, we discover that we have been bamboozled. He refuses to give us any antizin until we've completed one more assignment. What a lying, bald-headed, stinky old man. Get the hell away from me, you freak. After a quick cry in the restrooms, we have to go and collect some money from a few different settlements and then return them back to Rise. I can never forgive myself for helping in this dreadful exploitation of the poor. They are just trying to live their lives in peace, and I had to come along and suck the rest of their resources from them until they are doomed. Oh well, fuck them. There are also these bomber zombies, which explode as soon as you get too close to them. And no matter how much health you had, you would always instantly die. I swear like 90% of the bombers I came across killed me, due to just how fucking dumb I am, and always kick them by accident. Anyway, our next threat is this one dude on top of a gas station surrounded by barbed wire. We need to jump in from above in order to kick him down and finish him off. However, it's not ever that simple. Of course, he has to have a gun. He is in a prime spot to continuously fuck me over, and so whenever I go in for the kill, I'm always shredded more than a bag of cheese. After at least 20 deaths, we finally manage to jump in, knock him down, and beat him to a pulp. But fuck me, even kicking him while he's already down is its own mission. I swear my guy has like goddamn foam shoes or something. It took 48 kicks to finally kill him. What's the actual hell? And that's only when I have to kill one enemy with a gun. We return back to Rise, but once again he screws us over. What a surprise, the bad guy is a bad guy. We only receive a few vials of antizin, which is only a few days worth. We meet up with Rahim on the tower's roof, almost push him off the building, but then decide against it reluctantly. We find out he has plans to blow up a construction building which contains a nest for the big bad zombies, however lacks the required explosives to do so. Why the hell are you making a plan when you clearly don't have the necessary resources to actually do it? Like, what are you doing? The next mission involves us meeting up with Jade, the girl who initially saved us at the start of the game. I never actually acknowledged her existence. I forgot. But yeah, Jade's that one girl that at the beginning. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we raided a school controlled by Rise's men, trying to search for some antizin. This is the first mission where we have to fight multiple living armed hostiles at once. This is quite a difficult task, but usually separating them and then beating them up individually with my little tootsies works quite effectively. But again, trying to kill multiple enemies at once is the hardest thing in this game, especially when only using your feet, and I'm sure you can kind of see why. However, once we manage to clear the first area of hostiles, we meet up with Jade in the basement, where we discover a crate filled with explosives. Wow, what a coinky dink, eh? What a surprise. The complete next mission. Wow. Okay, in an attempt to discover a cure, Dr. Zera asks for a sample of a bolter zombie, which has been spotted around the city. And so we get out in the middle of the night to kill one and bring him a sample of its tissue. Surprisingly, we're actually able to instantly kill it just by kicking it, and then getting the fuck out of there. At night is when the big bad volatile zombies come out, which are the hard hitting zombies, and they're just fast as fuck.
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Returning the samples to Dr. Zera, we find that a cure is actually possible. However, we do not have the equipment required to continue his research. But Zera has been in contact with another scientist, Dr. Camden, who is currently in the other end of the city, Old Town, which is separated from the slums, and the only way there is through the sewers. Before we can get there though, we are informed that Raheem has gone to blow up the construction site without me. This is very upsetting, Raheem. I thought we had something special, you know? But fine. I guess I gotta go bloody save you now. But first, I need my sleep. We go to his last known location, in the rail yard, and find his dead patrol. We locate him, hiding in one of the containers, seemingly hurt. He hands us the explosive, and now it's up to us to plant them and destroy the nest. After entering the construction site, getting totally lost, like the hamster I had when I was like 3 or something, I reached the C4 placement zones, set the explosives, and then got the hell out of there. Obviously, my fucking dumbass completely just forgot to look at the immense explosion that happened behind me. So instead, here's a substitute video that's just as intense. When we return to the rail yard, we find Raheem, but sadly, he has already turned. I guess that injury was a bite wound. God damn it, Raheem. Why did you have to be such a little bitch? Now I'm gonna have to break the news to Brecken. We get back to the tower, and find Brecken looking all depressed. I guess he had already known. Maybe he was behind Raheem's death. Don't worry, Raheem. I will avenge you, my good friend. But there's no time for that now. Dr. Zera's camp has just been attacked. There are 5 of Ryder's men, one of which equipped with a gun, attacking Zera's lab. This one guy was really annoying alongside the rest, however was nothing compared to what is to come. After simply dispatching of all of Ryder's men, and a few too many deaths, we find that Zera has already been kidnapped. That's a stupid word, he is definitely not a kid. And where the fuck does napping have anything to do with it? Anyway, we need to rescue him in order to take his research to Camden in Old Town. We make our way back to Ryder's hideout and just fucking yeet some guys off the roof. This is seriously the most entertaining part of this whole run. Just drop kicking guys and just... We got inside his building and made our way through the floors, which was easy enough until we got to the parking garage. If you have seen some of my previous content, then you will know how much I bloody hate these parking lots. They are seriously my mortal enemy. Except they aren't exactly living entities. Anyway, you get the idea. I hate them so goddamn much. Now, this was so much worse than any other place. Literally, everyone here has guns, meaning you can't get close to a single enemy without getting lit up like a candle up Nikocado Avocado's arse. Death after death after death. I even started to try to become a suicide bomber at one point, hoping they would shoot an explosive barrel I was holding, which sometimes worked, I guess, but was absolutely not reliable at all. Thankfully, once an enemy had been killed, they would stay dead, no matter how many times you respawn. This made it much easier, as I could just focus on one enemy at a time, and gradually reduce their health and move on to the next until they are all dead. Once they are all down, I was so happy to finally see Dr. Zera again. We make our way out, but are caught and captured by Rise. Looks like it's all over now, buddy. We woke up in a Coliseum type arena, where we meet our first real boss, the Demolisher. Jesus Christ, this guy is awful. The only time you can actually kick him is when he's stunned from his charge attacks, and even when you do damage to him, you do about 1/1000th of his health. It was always so tense, as he could easily just run into me and fuck me in the arse at any time I was just slightly not paying attention. God's damn, I was thrilled when I finally managed to take him down. But that wasn't it. I experienced yet another seizure, did some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle slow-mo shit, cut off Rise's hand, and got the heck out of there. I bet you have noticed me getting the hell out of a lot of places already, and believe me, that's basically always the plan. Sadly, Zero also did die, however he's not really needed anymore, so there's no hard feelings. Once we get out of there, we find out who is able to take us to Old Town. A group named the Saviours, who escort those trying to pass through the sewers. We get to their tunnel, and meet up with our escort. We travel a bit through the sewers, until we find out it was a trap, set up by Rise, and we get ambushed by even more enemies with guns. Luckily, with the use of many dropkicks, we get them all down, and manage to find our way out, and finally reach the new area. Well, when I say we got them all down, I mean we got like 2 of them, and then like 50 more of them spawned. And I just, nah, fuck that. I just legged it out of there. What a beautiful city, don't you agree? I wonder what new enemies and excruciating challenges await. Oh shit, yeah, I totally forgot about Tahir. Oh god, Tahir. Oh no. Oh please. Anyway, we meet up with some local contacts within Old Town, one of which names Troy, who shows us that the GRE and the government are planning on bombing the city, and making lies that there are no survivors left inside, as an excuse to do so. This means that we need to send a message to the people to prove we are still alive. We head to an apartment block, where we plan to blow up some rooms to form some sort of message to the people. We head up top and encounter shit tons of enemies in such small spaces. We also find a new type of enemy, the most terrifying one yet. Yes, you guessed it, a child. Luckily, due to its weak brain structure, we can easily take care of it and continue on our mission. But still, how bloody terrifying. It will truly be ingrained into my dreams and nightmares for the rest of my days. We finish planting the remaining explosives, dying a whole bunch because of how small the corridors and rooms are, and then reach the detonator to finally blow it all up. We send the message, but it is swiftly blown up by an incoming jet. Our plan failed, but we can't mourn for too long, as we have information that Rise has taken Jade hostage. She had the remaining of Dr. Zera's research, and that's the only reason I'm going after her. I ain't no simp. They are holding her in the Old Town Museum, and the secret way in is through the underwater crypt looking passageways. We make our way through the first few enemies, which weren't really a problem, but this next part was honestly one of the worst. No. This whole mission was honestly the worst, most painful thing I've done so far in any video game. I seriously can't stress that enough. We have first of all 4 enemies on the ground floor with us, all with guns, meaning I'm completely unable to deal any damage to any of them without getting shot up faster than you can read the text under the minimap. I seriously wanted this to just fucking end so badly. I never gave up though. I realised that launching enemies into awkward places instantly kills them, as the game has a mental breakdown and doesn't know what to do with their stupid bodies. I don't really have much else to say about this part. It was awful, much like the next 2 sections as well. It was just all bad, like all of it. After those had finally been dealt with, even more enemies spawned in, and not even on the ground level, but 1 level above. Doing this mission without guns is one thing, but doing this mission with only kicking and on nightmare difficulty, nah, what a walk in the park. The park being filled with hellish demons and endless suffering. Just watch. Just watch. Seriously, I cannot explain this with words. There's just nothing I can say that would be enough to describe how awful this part truly is. This took over 30 minutes alone. Just this part alone. Next is to here. We enter into the main museum centre, where we find Jade, who has been bitten and will turn any minute now. We have a choice, me or Jade. But of course, this being Dying Light, the choice is made for us, and Jade turns into a zombie. Oh no, what a shame. Oh well, moving on. Next we need to finally fight to here, Rise's main bodyguard. Okay, I know I said the last part was bad, but that was nothing compared to this boss fight. Like, I can tell you, this boss fight went on for a grand total of 3.5 hours. Yes, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. And you still won't be able to comprehend how fucking dreadful this fight was. You seriously were just unable to kick him 90% of the time because of his unlimited amount of dodging. It was like trying to hit a fly that was on coke. Come on, man. Just let me be good at something. To here, stop. Just let me fucking kick you, please. After I realised that this tactic was clearly hopeless, I found that the best source of damage is to just bolt over the big guy and then land straight back on top of him. And so, that's what I did. Over and over and over again. For 3 hours. No fucking joke. There is no way in hell that I'm going to sit there and watch the footage back to see how many hits it took to take him down. Screw that. Unless, of course, you follow me on Instagram, link in the description, and comment to here's a bitch on my most recent post, then I, might consider it. After finally taking them out, you will not believe what happened next. And no, this is not a clickbait YouTube title. You seriously would not believe this. To hear, fucking respawned. Yes. After 3.5 hours of kicking him, landing on him, jumping up, landing on him, dying about 50 times, not even exaggerating, he just up and respawned. Fuck off to here. Just screw you. After I killed him for a second time, definitely while only using my feet, this time as well obviously, we have one final cutscene with him, in which we slice open his throat with his own weapon. Damn, how brutal. Also, that's another kill, not using my feet, After dealing with that, we finally leave the museum and meet with Troy once more to make a new plan to alert the public that we are still alive in the city. I plan to traverse up a radio tower and broadcast a message to the outside world, ensuring the military do not bomb the city and kill us all. To be honest, this whole thing just seems extremely selfish. Like, the military are doing this to prevent the virus spreading to the outside world and killing everyone. Yet us, the small group, are just preventing that from happening. And just, dooming the whole world, basically. That just seems, pointless. Nevertheless, we hook up on an amplifier to the radio tower and broadcast our message to the world, moments before the bombs drop. We have prevented our death. I guess that's a good thing. I don't really know anymore. Anyway, we can now finally take Dr. Zara's research to Camden in hopes for a cure. We head to his lab, which is completely infested with zombies, but we are able to just completely ignore like 90% of them, turning on a backup generator, and get to Camden in a safe haven. He begins analysing the samples and research, which will take a few hours to complete for us to find out if a cure is in reach. In the meantime, there is only one person left to take out, Rise himself. Rise has the remaining pieces of Zara's research, which are critical if a cure is possible, and he has made a deal with the GRE to be extracted from the city in return for the research. We cannot let him escape, as the GRE plans to use the virus as a weapon instead of actually finding a cure, and so we have to go after him. He is currently at the top of the main construction building. I know a lot of this game revolves around construction buildings, however it is the best place for parkour, not gonna lie. We climb our way up to the top, avoiding as many zombies as we can, find out that Rise has betrayed his own men, and then finally reach the top, where we meet the man himself for the final time. Of course, instead of a massive boss fight, There are only a few quick time events, which just makes total sense for a game like this. But with perfect precision and timing, we manage to take Rise out, but we get sneak attacked and fall onto a suspended container. Luckily, we use the knife in our shoulder to stab him in the throat, causing him to fall to his death. That looks like a pretty bad wound. Why not try putting it in rice? Looks like that's another illegal kill though. So, no. You can't beat Dying Light using only your feet, I think. Or can you? I'm really not sure. I don't know anymore. But yeah, thanks. Hope you enjoyed. See you there. Bye for now.